Let's be honest for a second. Most people don't struggle with makeup because they don't have good products. They struggle because no one ever really showed them how makeup actually works. You've probably been there. Your foundation looks perfect in the morning, then by midday it disappears or starts looking dry and patchy, and you end up thinking, maybe I'm just bad at this. But it's not you. It's the small things no one talks about, the little mistakes that happen before makeup even touches your face. And once you fix those, everything starts to change. So let's break it down. Number 1, it starts before makeup even begins. The biggest mistake most of us make is thinking makeup starts with foundation, but it actually starts with your skin. If your skin isn't properly prepared, no product, no matter how expensive, is going to sit right. Think of your face like a canvas. If it's dry or uneven, nothing will look smooth. That's why just applying one layer of moisturizer isn't enough. Your skin needs light layers, starting with something hydrating like a toner or essence, then a serum, and finally a cream if needed. Not heavy or greasy, just enough to make your skin feel soft and balanced. When your skin is properly hydrated, your makeup doesn't sit on top anymore. It melts in, and that's what makes it look like your skin, just better. Number 2, not every part of your face needs the same care. Here's something most people don't realize. Your whole face isn't the same. Some areas are dry, some are oily, and some have texture, but we still tend to apply the same amount of skincare everywhere. That's usually why the center of your face ends up shiny while other parts still feel dry. What works better is adjusting how you apply it. Focus more hydration on the outer parts of your face, where dryness is more common, and go lighter on areas like your nose and forehead. It's a small change, but it makes a big difference in how your makeup sits and lasts throughout the day. Number 3, you might not even need primer. I know primer feels like a must-have step because everyone talks about it like you can't skip it. I used to think the same, that without it, my makeup would just slide off. But honestly, that's not always true. A lot of the time, primer is just covering up the fact that your skin wasn't properly prepped in the first place. When your skin is already hydrated and smooth, you often don't need that extra layer at all. The only time primer really helps is for something specific, like pores or texture, and even then, just use a small amount where you need it. Because the more layers you add, the heavier your makeup feels. And heavy makeup rarely looks natural. Sometimes keeping it simple works best. Number 4, be careful around the eyes. The eye area is delicate, and more product doesn't always mean better results. I used to apply a lot of eye cream before makeup thinking it would smooth everything out, but it actually made things worse. My eyeshadow creased, my concealer moved, and everything looked messy after a few hours. Now I keep it minimal. If I use eye cream, I use a tiny amount and let it absorb properly before applying anything on top. Sometimes I even skip it in the morning if I'm doing a full eye look. Because during the day, it's not just about hydration, it's about giving your makeup something it can actually hold on to. Number 5, coverage doesn't mean heavy. This took me a while to learn. I used to think flawless skin meant full coverage everything, thick matte foundation that hides it all. But instead, my skin looked dry, heavy, and every little line stood out even more. That's when I realized coverage doesn't have to feel heavy. You don't need layers on layers to look smooth. What works better is softening your foundation instead of building it up. Mixing it with something lighter, like a BB cream or a hydrating base, keeps the coverage but makes it look more natural. So it doesn't sit on your skin anymore, it blends into it. It moves with your face, looks fresh, and still feels like your skin, not a mask. Number 6, stop applying foundation everywhere. This is such a simple change, but it completely transforms how your makeup looks. You don't actually need foundation all over your face. Most of the time, the areas that need coverage are in the center, around your nose, your cheeks, your chin. That's where redness or uneven tone usually shows up. But we're so used to applying foundation everywhere evenly, like it's one flat surface. When you start using less product on the outer parts of your face, something interesting happens. Your face starts to look more natural, more dimensional. It doesn't look flat or overdone anymore. It just looks like your skin, but better in the places that needed it. Number 7, concealer needs a lighter touch. If there's one place where less is truly more, it's under your eyes. That skin is thin, delicate, and it shows everything. If you apply too much concealer, it will settle into lines no matter how good the product is. I used to apply it straight from the applicator, thinking more product would cover more. But it just made things worse. Now I take a small amount on a brush, apply gently, and blend slowly. I follow the natural direction of my skin instead of forcing it. And it makes such a difference. It looks smoother, lighter, and way more natural. Number 8, your brows can change your whole face. Brows are one of those things that can completely change your look without you even realizing it, but they're also very easy to overdo. The biggest mistake I see is starting from the front and making it too dark. That heavy front makes your whole face look harsher. Now I always start from the middle of my brow, build the shape toward the end, and then softly fill in the front. Keeping the front light makes everything look softer, more natural, and honestly more flattering. Number 9, eyeshadow needs the right base. I used to think my eyeshadow was the problem, like I needed better products because it kept creasing and fading, but honestly, it wasn't the eyeshadow at all. It was the base underneath. After foundation or concealer, your eyelids still have a bit of moisture, and that makes shadow slide around instead of staying in place. The fix is simple. I just lightly set my lids with a little powder before applying eyeshadow, not too much, just enough to smooth things out. And the difference is huge. The shadow stays put, looks more even, and lasts all day. Such a small step, but it changes everything. Number 10, less powder, better results. Powder can either make your makeup look flawless or completely ruin it. It really depends on how you use it. I used to think more powder meant better results, like it would lock everything in and control shine all day. But instead, my skin ended up looking dry, flat, and a bit lifeless. Then I realized the issue wasn't powder, it was how much I was using. Now I always tap off the excess first and apply it lightly, only where I actually need it. It makes such a difference. My skin still looks natural, not heavy or overly matte, just softly set, like everything is in place without looking forced. Number 11, blend everything. If there's one thing that takes makeup from okay to beautiful, it's blending. I used to rush this step, and everything looked a bit harsh, like you could see where each product started and stopped. But makeup shouldn't look separate. Your eyeliner should melt into your shadow, your blush should fade into your skin, and your lips should look soft, not sharp. When everything blends together, your face just looks more natural, effortless, and put together. Number 12, small tools, big difference. This is something I completely underestimated before. I used to focus so much on finding the perfect mascara that I never paid attention to the tool itself. But honestly, the brush makes a huge difference. Big, thick brushes can dump too much product on your lashes at once, which is why they end up clumpy and heavy. It's not always the formula, it's how it's applied. When I switched to a thinner, more precise brush, everything looked cleaner and more defined. I could actually control my lashes instead of fighting them. Sometimes it's not about changing your products, it's just about using tools that work with you. Number 13. Lips shouldn't be too sharp. There's something about a very sharp lip line that can make your whole face feel a bit heavy, especially when the rest of your makeup is soft. I used to outline my lips really precisely, thinking that's how it's supposed to be done, but it often looked too harsh, like my lips didn't belong with the rest of my face. Now I keep it softer. I lightly blend the edges, sometimes even tap a bit of leftover foundation around the lips to even things out first. Then, when I apply my lip color, it melts in more naturally. It doesn't look like a separate block of color anymore. It just looks softer, more flattering, and more like you. Number 14. Always control before you apply. This is one habit that makes a huge difference. I used to go straight from product to my face, and it often ended up being too much blush, too much pigment, and hard to fix. What I learned is to pause for a second, test the product on your hand, adjust the amount, then apply. It gives you control and makes everything look more intentional and refined. Once you start doing makeup this way, everything just feels easier, and it finally looks like you. If this helped, don't forget to like and subscribe.